Just kind of standing there staring at like Katie's nasty, dirty, disgusting body because they didn't even wipe it out.
What you are watching right now is 28-year-old John Blovelt, an ex-military recruiter, trash-talking his own dead wife. A wife that John killed all because he fell in love with a 17-year-old girl.
Look at her. She's right here.
I look at her.
This is your friend. Well, yeah, me and Hannah were dating.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Don't want to do what? Don't want to help us find out who killed her?
Over the course of 6 years, these two thought they could live the perfect fairy tale after Katie's murder, ruining several lives and fleeing across the country, leaving chaos in their wake. But in the interrogation we have for you today, it all comes crumbling down.
I lost a friend. Maybe not the best wife, but I lost a friend. I don't give a I can get over this.
I was going to ask you to be point blank. Did you kill Katie?
October 24th, 2016 was nothing short of a nightmare for Catherine Ann Boyder's family. The 22-year-old had seemingly vanished from her job at a local PetSmart in Simpsonville, South Carolina at the end of her shift, leaving an extended group of friends and family to search for her. Shortly after midnight on the 25th, two of Katie's friends decided to search a nearby abandoned home, one that had been a hangout for local teens for years. But when her friends walked into the basement of this haunting home, they came face to face with the most horrific sight they had ever seen. Katie's body was in the basement, sealed in a cement box. The murder weapon, a knife, was still embedded in her neck. Frantically, her friends called the police, sobbing as they begged for help.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
We found my friend Katie dead in...
Okay, are you saying she's dead in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Is she cold?
She was very pale, and there was no response.
After speaking with Katie's friends, Simpsonville Police Department rushed to the scene to begin their investigation. It didn't take them long to be berated by leads from Katie's friends and family, all pointing to the same suspect, her estranged husband of just 3 months, John Blovelt. Police went to his job at a nearby army base to deliver the news of his wife's death. Estranged or not, they expected an emotional reaction. The following footage was provided to us by Simpsonville Police Department in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and begins just after they have told John of his wife's death.
Friday or Saturday morning. Oh, I'm sorry.
What was your conversation about?
The dog, John Jupiter. She wanted his shit. She wanted his map records and his dog bowl, and I told her basically. So, because she's not supposed to. We're supposed to be talking. With a restraining order.
Okay. This conversation is gonna be a little personal, brother. We'll go ahead and just put it out there. What the restraining order deal? What's the deal with that?
That's because a charge back that I got back in February 28, 27, end of February, domestic violence first degree. That she charged me with. And then obviously when that happens, the state issues a restraining order. Right. It's just never. I mean, they found and then told us that we can't lift it until my court has disposition. Yeah.
Okay. What has anything ever like that ever happened before? Have you guys ever had any big issues like that in the past?
I mean, we were the worst couple. You know, we argued a lot, but I think it was just bad timing, honestly, because she was going through some shit, and I was going through some shit, and she just left one day. It was like a Tuesday, and then she came back Friday with all the entire Fountain Inn Police Department, and it was a pretty big scene. It was like a 4-hour thing. Okay. And then, I mean, I'll tell you, but after that, we talked or whatever still, right. And we still saw each other pretty often.
When was the last time you actually saw her?
I'd say probably July, because she moved out in April, I think.
Have you ever gotten so mad at her that maybe you did something you didn't mean to do?
No, absolutely not. I used to have a drinking problem, so I used to get pretty mad. I used to have like yelling matches and shit, but she had some lungs on her, so we could go back and forth all night. But I hadn't drank in 2 months now. It's just because I'm trying to turn my shit around. I don't know when this court date's coming up for me with this domestic violence. I don't want to be lost, when it hits. So I've just been trying to turn my shit around.
Are you familiar with this abandoned house?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the spot. That's like,
What's the
the
spot?
hangout spot.
How come?
I don't know. I guess because Cheyenne and her friends found it, and then they have to, being teenagers, they gotta do the coolest thing they can imagine. So I guess it's hanging out at this abandoned house. And then I've been there a couple times. So
When was the last time you were there?
probably, I don't know,
Like a week ago, a month ago?
it's been months. If anything, it's been months. Am I being charged for the crime? Because he's recording me, and I'm not comfortable with that.
No,
And if I am, I'd like to contact a lawyer. Because this is uncomfortable.
you're not being charged
Okay.
with a crime right now.
I know, I just want to cooperate with that,
This brother is a death notification. That's the big reason I'm here.
Dude, I'm shook right
Beginning of
now.
this conversation, I understand. Beginning of the conversation, when I told you that we investigate every death or
Yeah,
anything except a natural death, we investigate as a homicide until we can prove otherwise.
right.
That's the reason why that we're all are here. Our conversation here is more for trying to figure out just kind of a time frame and put together a frame of what happened.
Right.
The questions we had, obviously, put it out there, bro. Y'all are in the middle of an acid divorce.
Right. I know. And I've seen the shit her mom's been saying about me on Facebook too.
Brainiac John doesn't seem to realize that her mom reportedly saying stuff about him on Facebook doesn't make him a victim. It gives him more motive, and therefore makes him even more of a suspect. But you know what's the most suspicious of all? The fact that he suddenly asked for an attorney when detectives showed him the house where her body was found. Yet at this point in time, he shouldn't know that the house is related to her death at all, because it hadn't been released to the public.
That doesn't hold any weight with us one way or another. We have a job to do, and that's all we're doing. And recording you is nothing to put you on blast or anything like that. It's totally for our benefit, okay?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm asking for.
Our job is to find out
What happened?
who killed her and bring them to justice. So we're not looking to do anything to you. We'll be here for you because you're,
And
regardless of your marital status, you still have feelings for her.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to call and ask if I could get an update with her mom and shit like that. I don't want to.
I know.
I don't even want to be around. Like, I don't want to accidentally be there at the same time her mom shows up. She fucking shoots me in the face or something. Because that's the shit that she was saying about me, like having me nervous.
We will just kind of let you know where we're going as far as with her from here. We'll do an autopsy today. We will have, I'm about 99% sure we'll have a manner of death today. I can't say that about the cause. It just depends on what we see. Okay. You are her legal next of kin. You guys are still legally married.
Right.
Legal next of kin. Within the same token, her mom, morally, right thing to do would be to allow me to discuss anything with her
Right. Yeah.
about this death.
Yeah.
Legally, I have to get your permission to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely stay in contact with you.
Stay in contact is one phrase for what detectives are going to do. While initially John was a suspect on their list, after this 20-minute death notification, he's skyrocketed right to the top of it. Because not once has he asked how his estranged wife died or where she was found. Which means General Grumpy Gills here earned himself another interview just a few days later.
We hadn't really had a chance to sit down. I talked to you that day when we notified you about her death.
Yeah.
And things are kind of emotional and everything. So we're still working the case, obviously, and trying to figure out who killed her. we've talked to a bunch of people. We want to give you some time to grieve and, you know, do what you need to do mentally before we bring you in here. But we would like to ask you some questions that maybe you can give us an answer, you know, what we're looking for. So with that in mind, are you willing to talk to us today?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What I have to do is read your rights. We've been doing that with everybody we've been talking to because, you know, anybody could potentially be a suspect.
Right.
Detectives read John his rights. As you're about to discover, it's not his first time hearing them.
Like I said to you before, we just want to get some background information and kind of paint a picture of what we have going on. Okay. Just kind of tell me about when you guys met, how you met.
She worked at the firehouse. Do you know where the recruiting station is? She worked at the firehouse right next door.
Okay.
So I was going through some crap with my current marriage. We were kind of on the way out of that marriage. So me and her just kind of met and started dating. I was still living with my wife at the time, and she was dating her boyfriend, and I was dating my girlfriend. So it was kind of a funny situation. I was staying at her house most days during the week at her dad's house, and then we finally got an apartment in December of 2014, I guess it was. Yeah, so that's kind of how we met. We just, you know, we both smoked cigarettes at the time, so we just went out and smoked.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, you just meet people through smoke breaks.
And you got married in what year?
2015.
And so I know obviously about the incident that happened between you guys allegedly in January. Then she didn't file a report till February. What made her file a report a month later about something that?
That was just kind of her personality.
Just get back at you for something she pissed or?
That was her personality. When she got mad about something, she would act extremely childish until she got her way, and if she didn't get her way, she would just escalate until she got her way.
They believed her about something that happened a month before?
I got arrested for it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of strange.
Whether or not they believed her, I still went away in handcuffs, and I still had to get bailed out of the county. And so whether or not they believed her, there wasn't no, it was just a statement.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's just he said, she said.
Yeah, I went away for it. And then, yeah, she moved out like the Monday or Tuesday. She moved out in the early week, and by the end of the week, she was back, like with her mom, like clearing out all of her shit. And then when I said, okay, like, bye. Because we had played that game before where she left. She would always come back. Yeah. Well, most of the time she would leave, I would beg her to come back, and she would come back. And then we'd make it another 2 or 3 weeks. And then she would leave, and then I'd beg her to come back. And and then I just didn't beg her to come back.
What kind of stuff were y'all arguing about?
Everything.
Just normal.
Just normal stuff.
People stuff.
And then being a recruiter, I talked to a lot of different people. So I had 2 phones, and I talked to a lot of females, and she didn't like us. But that was my job as a recruiter. I had to talk to everybody. Yeah. And she wouldn't like that. So then we'd argue about that. And then one time I just didn't ask her to come back. And she came back like 4 days later with her mom, and they cleared out like all of her stuff up from the house.
So that was how far after your arrest for the domestic violence thing was that? Like a week or 2? Or?
No, that was in January. What made her go file in February? Who knows?
Okay. But so she actually moved out when, in February or even later than that?
She didn't permanently actually move out of that house until about April.
Okay.
But what kicked off the incident in January was she moved out.
Okay.
She moved out, took all her shit, came back, moved out again. I told her that time, just stay gone this time because I don't want you ruining my shit. You're ruining everything in my life. Please stay away. Came back like a week later with the police.
Right. So you guys weren't married long at all?
2 months.
So it's kind of
2 months, and then we made it until March. I called her the night. I know I wasn't supposed to. Don't care. Called her the night I got out of jail, and she sat there and cried on the phone. And she was like, "I didn't know that you were going to go to jail." And I told her it's okay. You know, I forgive you. I'm a very forgiving guy. I don't give a shit. I can get over this. You know, I know who she was. She had the shortest fuse on the phone. It wasn't even a fuse. It was one of those things you just pull it. It explodes. That was her personality. That's the personality. That's the person I knew. And I told her it's okay. That's fine. I'll take you back. I don't care. Let's just move on. And that lasted about 2 more months, probably till about the end of April into June, or I guess that would have been May.
Yeah. Is Hannah work or where she do?
She works in the mall. JCPenney's in the mall.
Now, does she live with you full time? Or is it kind of?
It's on and off. She stays when she wants.
Okay. She live with her parents otherwise?
Now, there's a lot to break down